Warning! This video contains major spoilers for Avengers Endgame. You have been warned. Hello guys, it is Gated Theories here, and last week the brand new Avengers Endgame hit theaters, and wow! It is such a great movie. I absolutely love it. I'm literally speechless. Everything that happened in it was brilliant. I loved the idea of the time travel part, and I loved it when all of the Avengers returned and they had that huge battle. That battle was just so awesome between the Avengers and past Thanos. But then again, when you look at that battle and you think, wow, past Thanos is like seriously powerful, because while this battle was going on, I kept thinking about that one scene from Infinity War. You know, the scene where everyone started to hate Star-Lord because of what he did. That scene where Iron Man, Spider-Man, Doctor Strange, and all of the other Guardians, except from Gamora, Groot, and Rocket, are all fighting Thanos, and they are so close to actually defeating him. Thanos is in the middle of wearing the Infinity Gauntlet. He's collected 4 Infinity Stones so far: the Power Stone, the Space Stone, the Soul Stone, and the Reality Stone. So Thanos should be extremely powerful with this Infinity Gauntlet on, and yet there's this one part where it honestly looks like Spider-Man and Iron Man are about to take the gauntlet off Thanos' hand, because all of the Guardians are on him. Doctor Strange is pulling him down, Spider-Man's pulling him down, and it honestly looks like Thanos is about to get the gauntlet taken off him, and he is going to lose. Of course, we know that isn't what happened, because Star-Lord freaks out because he finds out that Gamora's just been sacrificed, and then he starts hitting Thanos and everything just goes completely wrong. But if you look in that scene carefully, we see that Thanos was almost defeated, even wearing the Infinity Gauntlet, and this is set years into the future from the past Thanos that we see in Endgame. And yet in Endgame, he seems even more powerful than he does with the Infinity Gauntlet on in Infinity War. So today we're going to wonder why on earth that is. And we're going to wonder how on earth past Thanos is so powerful. Now, throughout Infinity War and Endgame, we get a lot of information about what on earth these stones actually are, how powerful they are, where they sort of come from, where they originated from, and it's all really explained in Endgame and in Infinity War by the people who associate with Doctor Strange, because of course they protect the Time Stone, they know a lot about the Infinity Stones. And at the beginning of Infinity War, when Iron Man and the Hulk are with Doctor Strange, they realize that the Infinity Stones are extremely powerful. If Thanos gets every Infinity Stone, then he will be able to do colossal damage. And of course we see at the end of Infinity War, he does, with one snap of his fingers, he manages to wipe out half of the population. So these Infinity Stones are extremely powerful, and we see throughout this fight that I was just talking about before how powerful these stones actually can be. Once they let go of Thanos and Thanos is back to being all powerful again, he uses the Power Stone on many people, such as Iron Man and Doctor Strange, and they're only just being able to resist it. He uses the Space Stone to teleport away. He uses the Reality Stone in other scenes to make you think something's happening when it's not, and then he uses also the Soul Stone. He has 4 stones in this scene on his Infinity Gauntlet. He should be extremely powerful right now. He should not be in the situation of where Spider-Man is almost taking off the Infinity Gauntlet from him, and yet he is. He should be extremely powerful, but he's not in this scene for some reason. And yet in Avengers Endgame, which is the most recent Avengers film, we get to see a past Thanos because of time travel, and he returns to the Avengers without any of the Infinity Stones, without the Infinity Gauntlet, and he's even more powerful. I mean, Captain America, Thor, and Iron Man, probably some of the 3 most powerful Avengers of all time, all attack him. We even get to see 2 of Thor's hammers attacking him all at once. We see Iron Man going really for it. It gets to the point where Thanos is so powerful that Iron Man's vibranium shield, which is the most powerful metal in this MCU, breaks in half. Not even Captain Marvel, who we see is so powerful at the beginning of Endgame, when she manages to bring a ship in space and fly it across the universe back to Earth, yet she can't even destroy this Thanos. Like, what is going on? He doesn't have the Infinity Gauntlet with him. He doesn't have any of the Infinity Stones, and yet he's this powerful. And this is set like years and years before Infinity War Thanos. This is Guardians of the Galaxy 1 Thanos. Like, he's not as powerful as he is in Infinity War. So how is he so powerful in Avengers Endgame? Now, you could say it's like his sword that's protecting him, and it's also his armor that's protecting him, because, like I said before, this is Guardians of the Galaxy 1 Thanos, so he's still wearing all of his armor. He hasn't taken it off yet, like he does in Infinity War, but he still took off his helmet. Like, he still thinks that he's going to be extremely powerful, and yeah, I really don't think it's the armor and his sword that is protecting him from this many Avengers. So, how is he so powerful? Well, I actually have two theories on how on earth Thanos could be so powerful, and seeing as we've just been talking about how powerful these Infinity Stones are, I'm going to tell you the theory about the Infinity Stones. Now, the reason for why on earth Thanos might not be this powerful in the Infinity War scene that we've been talking about is because he might be using loads and loads of energy to hold the Infinity Stones in the Infinity Gauntlet. Like, we see in Endgame how when a character tries to hold the Infinity Gauntlet, it almost kills them. Like, when the Hulk puts on the new Infinity Gauntlet with all the Infinity Stones on, he finds it extremely hard just to get this strength to try and snap his fingers. Except he is using all of the Infinity Stones. And then at the end, when Iron Man tries using the Infinity Gauntlet and snaps, it literally does kill him, and I was really upset about that part. I really don't like how they killed off Iron Man, but that's a story for another video. So we see how powerful these Infinity Stones are. They can actually kill them. Like, in the first Guardians of the Galaxy, we see Ronan dying because of holding just one of the Infinity Stones, the Power Stone. It takes all of the Guardians holding hands and putting all of their strength together just to hold the one Power Stone. So how is Thanos going to survive when he's holding 4 Power Stones in this heavy Infinity Gauntlet that was created by people who were protected by Asgard? So obviously it's going to release loads and loads of energy. So maybe that's the reason why, because in this scene, Thanos hasn't had all of the Infinity Stones for that long, if you think about it. And he's only literally just got the Soul Stone, and no one really knows what that's about. Who knows what energy could be coming from that? And he's just had to sacrifice his daughter. He's probably feeling really upset, and all these Infinity Stones are losing lots of his energy from him, which is how on earth the Avengers almost managed to take off the Infinity Gauntlet. But of course, when Star-Lord starts hitting him in the face and things go wrong, that's the moment when he starts taking control of this energy from the Infinity Stones, and he has now enough power inside of him to control the Infinity Stones, and then he starts using them individually one by one to attack each of the Avengers. So maybe that's one of the reasons, because past Thanos, like I said before, doesn't have any of the Infinity Stones, doesn't have that power, so he can use all of his energy, instead of worrying to use some of his energy to actually keep the Infinity Stones on the gauntlet with him. And my second reason is Thanos' determination to succeed in this battle. Because from future Nebula, he knows his future self is going to win and wipe out half the population, but is then going to lose, so he'll try and do anything in this battle now to prevent all of that stuff that happened in Infinity War from happening, because he knows that he is going to win, but then he also knows that once he's won, he's going to lose and get his head chopped off and all that sort of stuff. So his determination to make sure that his 2 daughters don't turn from him, to make sure that his daughter Gamora doesn't go off with the Guardians, and to make sure that his daughter Nebula doesn't go off with the rest of the Avengers to help them, he's going to try and do anything to make sure that he wins this time, that he doesn't lose anything, but that he wins. So this determination could probably drive him a bit further on in this battle. So guys, that is my reasons for why on earth past Thanos is so powerful, and a lot more powerful than the Thanos that we sometimes see in Infinity War. Now, the main reason why on earth the Thanos in Avengers Endgame is probably a lot more powerful is because it's the last Avengers. They're going to want a huge fight scene with the main villain, so let's make this villain extremely powerful, which I absolutely loved, but it does make you wonder how on earth this past Thanos seems to be a lot more powerful. If you did enjoy this video, then please like it and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. tell us in the field section down below what you think of this theory, if you agree with me on the reasons why on earth past Thanos is way more powerful than the Thanos that we see in Infinity War, and also while you're down there, why don't you talk about if you loved Endgame and what your favourite parts of it were, if you liked when Iron Man died, or if you thought it was really upsetting, if you were crying when Spider-Man came back, because lots of people in my theatre were. Make sure that you leave all of that in the field section down below. And as always, we've been here on Gate of Theories. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.